last video, we were talking about simps, right? But what I find interesting is that we associate that with what people call a beta male. But what would be the term for beta females? Actually, let's not get into the terminology. But since everyone wants to define the characteristics of a beta male and a simp, I think it's fair that we could discuss the beta female, right? Now, in older videos, whenever I would speak about the psychology of a man and a woman, specifically in a relationship or any sort of bond, right? I always stated that what I find personally attractive is in a woman is empathetic and nurturing behavior, diplomatic and collaborative. Traits that I don't think men are very good at maintaining oftentimes because men can be very ego-driven and prideful, but I mean, so can women, but due to societal, environmental, cultural, and other sociological factors, men tend to be more rough around the edges when it comes to emotional intelligence and adaptability with it. With that being said, the most disqualifying traits that I've personally experienced that I would define as a beta in terms of female standards are, number one, avoidance issues. I don't know what it is with the female psychology. Mind you, maybe I'm just picking bad women in the past, okay? But for some reason, there's like this common trait I've seen with women that, like even those I'd even date and I just knew. But there's this issue of dodging all sorts of confrontations or accountability, but they'll hold resentment about it and it leaks into social interactions. This creates passive aggressiveness, them bringing up stuff that happened 7 weeks ago that we resolved and haven't had an issue about since, and nobody's thinking about it but them, really. But I mean, you just want to bring it up because why not? You know, I need a point to make an argument because I don't want to admit I'm wrong, right? You know, that type of thing. Or they'll just do this thing because they don't have confrontational nature, which I'm not saying I want to argue or fight with you, right? I'm not saying you should be confrontational. You should be, I'm not saying that because maybe it's just not in their nature to be confrontational. Maybe due to societal, environmental, cultural standards of how women are traditionally taught to act. Things just get avoided though. Things just never get solved. And it builds up with this personal resentment, like I said, and therefore, again, every interaction becomes passive aggressive. Or this is another thing, what happens with this avoidance issue. It becomes constant negativity. Like you're never happy about anything. Like now I've heard people make a counter argument to this. Well, they'll be like, y'all want to talk about women always bringing up stuff that happened months ago or years ago and this and that. But, I feel like I can't talk to my man about stuff and I build it up and then, it just goes out there. Okay. You're 100% correct. I understand you. I believe you. But this goes to the confrontation and accountability issue I just mentioned. Okay. You feel this way, right? Then why are you with this person? I don't understand. Like, why can't you take, I'm going to bring, this is going to be like the third day. I'm going to talk about something else that I find and also a beta trait, right? But this is what I'm talking about, where it's like, dude, why are you here? Look, I've learned through the many years, if I can't talk to my partner about my problems, their problems, or our problems, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to entertain this. And it's difficult. Yeah, you can't just be like, okay, just walk away, right? It's, you're emotionally connected with somebody, but it's just, I'm a clingy person too. So I understand it's hard to leave, but if you feel this way about a man, you gotta let it go at this point. But then you gotta say to yourself, okay, because I've seen this too. Here's my counter argument to that counter argument. I've seen people say like, okay, well, men are like, I feel I can't talk to men about anything. They don't understand emotions. Okay, well, I don't know at this point. Isn't it ironic that every man you experience is like this? So is everyone else the problem? Is every man the problem or are you the problem? But some people don't want to have that conversation, right? All men are bad, right? And well, guys do this same thing to women too. They'll be like, all women are bad. They'll pull this sort of thing, but continue to entertain or interact with low quality personality trait women. Just like how women will interact with low quality personality trait men. AK, anyway, but we're talking about the beta female too. We talked about Sim's last video. Here's the second trait, right, that I consider beta in females. Over accommodation issues. Remember how I said earlier in this video about the societal, environmental, and sociological factors that tend to be attached to a female, nurturing, empathetic, and so forth. And if these traits are dominant within you, right, like you are a very compassionate person and caregiver type of person, you're loving, It's not bad in my opinion. I'm not shunning it. But this leads to an issue where I've noticed and found many females don't know how to create boundaries for this. You don't need to be a mediator and superwoman for everybody. Yes, it's great that you're caring and loving, but man, this is how you end up not knowing how to say no to people. This is what happens when you don't know how to turn a guy down you're not interested in. This is what happens, and then you end up misleading them. Okay, so see, anyway, this is what happens when you don't know how to tell a guy you have a boyfriend already, and you keep entertaining this guy, right? Because you're so caring and loving, you know that this guy that you're talking to, they're catching feelings for you, but you want to turn him down because maybe he spoke to you about, he opened up to you and stuff like that, bro. You don't know how to say no to people. You don't know how to turn people down. You don't know how to set boundaries for yourself because you're so caring and loving. You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings because you never want to rock the boat. Again, due to the fact that you're overly nurturing. Look, you can still be nurturing and know how to set boundaries. I think that just happens when you just get older. But, this over accommodation issue is one of the most frustrating things from my personal experiences, because I've had experiences where this can get so bad that you never take care of yourself or your own responsibilities. They forget to eat. They don't get enough sleep at night because they got to be mediators for everyone else's drama or be a caregiver to everyone who is going through something. Okay. Oh my goodness. Someone's going through something. Okay. You're being there for them. Why are you overextending? Bro, have you slept? Did you even eat breakfast today? Like, bro, like this is what happens. Like, I don't know why. I don't understand the female psychology like that. I don't know what it is about women where they just do this. They just don't drink water. Like, they don't drink, they don't eat, they don't do nothing. It's like, I got to take care of everybody else's drama and their situations. I got to get caught up to date with all this stuff. Bruh, hello, your own life here. And this makes the female appear very unreliable. And you may say, how, Aku? That's cap. That actually is contradicting Aku. How are they unreliable? You say that if they're constantly overextending to everyone. Seems reliable to me. They're there for everybody. That's a reliable person. No, it's not. Reliability requires stability. Getting help from someone with self-neglect issues and in constant burnout is not reliable. Even if they're not burned out at the moment, self-neglecting somebody is a sign that they're going to fail to deliver eventually. It's not a long-term thing. And they'll experience fatigue mentally or physically. So they may not give the best help. Tell me if I'm lying for anyone who knows someone like this. And this might be you, actually, even as a guy. I'm just saying I've just seen this more in females. But the people who always talk about are willing to help you or try to be there for you and this and that, right? You know those type of people, I'll be there for you. And maybe you're like this too. You'll say you'll be there for everybody, right? You know those type of people who say that or they'll do that, but they're inconsistent and they never keep their promise. Oh, I'll be there, bro. Then they're never there. I'll talk to you tonight about it. Then they ghost you for the night. But you know why they promised that to you? Because they felt bad for you. The pity. They want to be caring. They're worried that, if I don't reply or I don't say like if I don't commit my time or make a promise to them, then I'm gonna look like a bad friend. Why do you care about this? Like, see, and I'll talk to you tonight. And yeah, that happened to me so many times. That's like the thing that I used to get so mad about that. But you see, again, they felt bad for you. They want to be caring, and they don't know how to set boundaries because their own life is busy. But then they'll break a promise to you. But they'll say that they'll keep a promise. And then that person who they broke a promise to, they're going to get mad. Like I said, I would get mad at somebody else for this. Like, and let me just wrap this up with the third thing. I feel like I'm going on a tangent with that one. This last trait, I think, is the most controversial. Some of you may disagree with the other two already, but this one I feel like is the most on edge for me, right? The third trait that I think is considered beta in a female, woman, whatever. Bro, number 3, the lack of initiative. We are not living like, I don't know, what kind of time period at this point, bro. We're not living like the past at this point. As a female, you don't have to be a follower. There's nothing wrong with being a leader. A lot of women are scared to take charge and prefer behind the scenes type of roles in every situation, not one or two, every part of life. They got to be in the background. What this tells me is that this person struggles with ambition and independence. Look, I'm not saying you got to be bossy, right? I'm not saying that means you got to be a boss lady. You know what I'm saying? That's literally not what I'm saying. I'm saying sometimes people will perceive you as lazy and unmotivated and maybe even not respect you when you struggle to take charge with anything in life unless a man tells you, a random man tells you, or you follow your friends everywhere. Listen, you depend on your friends for everything in life. You know what I'm saying? Every single, when you gonna do something for yourself though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it is, and maybe this is rooted off of the traditional roles that we've adopted in society. You know, I said this like 40 million times already in this video, but look, I don't feel there's anything wrong with a woman giving direction or creating initiative to a situation or problem or any certain thing. But for some reason, a lot of them just don't, like, they're scared to do it. Like, it's just like they rather be a follower. It feels prehistoric at this point, you know? And maybe this is just a personal pet peeve of mine, bro. This is why I don't like this. Look, and why I can't be the person to do it. Look, I'm the type of person where if you're friends with me or like if we're dating, I tend to take charge. I am a bit bossy. Honestly, I'll be real with you. But I can't, my life has its own situations and problems and stuff I got to take care of. It's not my job to take charge of your life too. We can be married and I'll still have that same mentality. Yeah, I'll take charge often, but because I tend to do so. But if you need to literally be spoon-fed to do anything independent or bring any value to the relationship or your own life without me creating initiatives for you, without me dragging you out to do something, without me setting everything up for you, then it's like, bruh, you can be a leader as a woman, bruh. You can coexist with your man as a leader, bruh. Both of you can be leaders. But the beta female, quote, how I described it, there's pure passivity. Zero initiative to anything. No leadership skills. 100% a follower to everything. And, you know, this is the thing why I said, like, why do I look at this as bad too? And like these three things I listed, which number one was avoidance issues, number two, over accommodation issues, and three, lack of initiative and passivity. You know, if what makes this unattractive to me is that, or why I find this like very like huge red flags or bad traits in a woman or a beta is if I want to be in a relationship with somebody and I want to be long term, I expect it to be a partnership, right? What do partners do for each other? They help each other out, right? If it's just one sided because because I got to be all the initiatives for you and everything like that, I got to tell you to stop, drink some damn water and eat some food, eat breakfast and take care of yourself because you're too busy over accommodating. You're in everyone else's drama, or, you know, you got avoidance issues because you don't want to bring up anything because you're scared of confronting any sort of problem and you never want to solve solutions. It's like, what kind of relationship is this? It's just me picking up after you. It's just me. I'm just existing at this point. You're kind of just like, I don't want to say burden because it's not that, but it's not a burden. There's another word it's like you're a sidekick, you know? It's like you're a sidekick to me. I don't feel like relationships should be that, you know? It should be, hey, it's you and I, we're working together. We're both leaders in our own way, right? But if it's just like I'm Batman and you're Robin, but, you know, Robin's just a sidekick with, you know, who's not as good or something, like, I don't like that. You know, I want to feel empowered with somebody who I'm with. And if I don't feel that sort of energy because you lack these three things I mentioned, avoidance issue, over accommodation, and lack of initiative, it's like, you know, I would consider that beta in a female. And that's not a good sign to me, at least. And again, this is just my opinion and stuff like that. And look, you can make an argument that this whole video applies to men too, honestly. The females watching, like, I know a lot of men. These same things you listed, Aku, I say the same for men. But the reason why I'm specifically talking about women in this video is because I see this more in women than I do in men. Men have this, but women, I think I've seen it a lot more in women. Anyway, this episode is found on Spotify and YouTube. I'm out.